Just as the rest of the nation celebrates its centennial, the women of the T'boli and Ubo tribes of South Cotabato are enjoying their own brand of independence. Once kept in the background of community affairs, these women now dare to flaunt tradition by refusing arranged marriages, demanding education, and jump-starting their own cottage industries. The T'boli and Ubo women have even come up with a reforestation project intended to save some 40,000 hectares of forest. This is their liberating story. This is the Madal Behedung, or Thanksgiving dance, performed by the T'boli and Ubo tribes. Although separate tribes, the T'boli and Ubo have merged into one community through intermarriages. They live in scattered barangays in Lake Cebu, South Cotabato, and are original inhabitants of the area. Lake Cebu has some 45,000 hectares of forest, making it a prime target for loggers. And with no legal proof of ownership, generations of T'boli and Ubo have watched outsiders lay claim to these resources. Today, however, they have much to celebrate. 3 years ago, through the efforts of the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, the government recognized T'boli and Ubo's claim to their ancestral land.
The spirit is that the community, the tribe, has the first right to the land.
DENR Secretary Victor Ramos says the tenure was granted as part of the Community-Based Forest Management Program, or CBFM, a plan designed to help indigenous communities manage and protect their forest resources.
If there is a mining company that has found mineral inside their property, they cannot go there and dig for that without their express informed consent.
And all income goes to them?
All income goes to them.
Yung mga privilege namin na nakita ng gobyerno na meron silang concern sa mga tribo.
Datu Ontog is head of the Ubo tribe. He believes the CBFM program is the first real step towards the recovery of impoverished ethnic communities.
Meron na kaming concept of ownership kasi yung concept of ownership, yung inukopa namin ng mga lupain namin, sa amin na yan. Pagkatapos i-recognize ng government yung rights namin dyan, so tiyak na magaganda ang kinabukasan namin ngayon at saka yung mga next generation namin.
Thankful as the T'boli and Ubo are for these efforts, perhaps none have enjoyed their benefits more than the women. Elizabeth Carrado, an Ubo tribeswoman, no longer remembers the names of the women who came to her barangay last November. What she does remember is what they told her.
Nagkaroon ng seminar sa misyon tungkol sa role ng babae sa community. Nung malaman ko na meron palang ganito, tapos alam kong may kakayahan ako, nagka-interes ako.
Traditionally, T'boli and Ubo women are second-class citizens in the community. They do not take part in decision-making and are considered the property of their fathers or husbands. Arranged marriages are common and males are allowed to practice polygamy.
Mababa ang tingin ng lalaki sa mga babae, kaya kailangan i-explain sa mga pamilya kung ano ang karapatan ng lalaki at saka ng babae na hindi naman dapat ganinin ng mga babae.
Meron ka bang mga tradisyon na gusto mong palitan sa iyong tribo?
Kung may papalitan, gusto kong palitan yung arranged marriage. Pangalawa, yung paghihiwalay. Kasi kapag naghihiwalay ang mag-asawa, hindi naman sa lalaki napupunta yung anak. Lahat na iiwan sa babae. Ibalik rin yung dowry na binigay ng pamilya ng babae sa lalaki nung pinakasalan niya yung babae.
Mga Kristiyanos, Beth. For Elizabeth, hearing about women's rights was an affirmation of her own struggle against tradition. Shortly after she was born, Elizabeth was betrothed to a man her parents had chosen for her.
Nalaman ko lang yung early marriage ko nung second year high school na ako. Kaya nung nalaman ko, hindi ako pumayag kasi gusto ko pang mag-aral.
But in the Ubo and T'boli tribes, the education of male children is prioritized. Elizabeth is the only one among 6 sisters to attend school. Luckily for her, she was born the youngest around the time missionaries set up a school near her barangay. Against her parents' wishes, Elizabeth pursued what she believed was her right to an education. She took vocational courses at a local college. Although born an Ubo princess, she paid for her education by working as a janitor at the school.
No, bayo, so lumabag taba, bayo.
Kung tutusin, lumabag ako sa tradisyon dahil hindi ko sinunod ang kagustuhan ng mga magulang ko. Pero inisip ko na kung susundin ko yung kagustuhan nila, ako rin ang magduro sa balang araw.
Today, Elizabeth remains unmarried and at the age of 27 is an old maid by Ubo standards. Not that it matters, she says. Elizabeth believes education has given her self-value, and she is eager to help the women in her community find theirs. Using the seminar as a jump-off point, Elizabeth has organized a women's group. They meet every week at the barangay hall to discuss the tribe's problems.
Ano ang reaksyon ng mga kababaihan pag kinakausap mo sila tungkol sa mga problema ng kababaihan?
Tayo haligal, so abay sa baylayo.
Masaya sila kapag nalalaman nilang may karapatan rin sila. Gusto nga nila magkaroon din ng mga seminar ang mga lalaki para alam rin ng mga ito ang karapatan ng mga babae.
More than this, however, Elizabeth wants women to have an active role in the community.
Layo ni kam dumulibon, babayo, noyo.
Ang gusto ko ngayon ay ma-involve yung kababaihan sa community, lalo na at madami sa mga babae nagtatrabaho dito ay hindi nakakapag-aral. Gusto ko may mga seminar upang maipalam sa mga babae dito kung ano ang maaari na nang gawin para sa community para makatulong dito. Lalong-lalo na sa livelihood para meron din kaming pagkakitaan at may tutulong sa community.
The T'boli and Ubo rely on corn and rice farming. Men are the breadwinners. While their husbands head out to the fields each day, the women remain at home weaving tinalak cloth and making beads for their jewelry. Today, Elizabeth and her friends have organized these household chores into a well-oiled cottage industry. Under the Lake Cebu Ancestral Domain Community Association, or LASADCA, the T'boli and Ubo women have found a way to further break the constraints of tradition. The LASADCA Seedling Nursery is just one of the thousands of DENR-initiated forest projects, but for the women of the T'boli and Ubo tribes, it has given them a new leadership role in their communities. With the seedlings, the women hope to restore the areas laid waste by illegal logging and kaingin.
Kaya mga kamlogi, lubay mo
Ang mga babae ang nagpapatakbo ng nursery.
bagwa.
The women have chosen not to plant fast-growing trees, which are the usual choice in reforestation efforts. Rather, they are cultivating trees which they can use in their livelihood.
Bay banabul, tu banabul, abay sa fakay.
Ang nabo, multipurpose yan. Ang bunga, pwede mong kainin. Yung kahoy, pwede mong gamitin. Ang loko naman at saka kanalon, ang mga ito ginagamit na pangday ng tinalak. Yung kanalon, yung black na dye. At saka yung loko, yung red dye.
Amin ba loko, maubod bay hulo, bay tanalak.
The T'boli and Ubo believe in the alimukon, a dove-like bird they say is the messenger of the gods.
Dahil nga yung ibon eh. Oo, kaya hindi kami gusto na mawalan kami ng kahoy.
Okay.
Dahil mga anak ko yung mga kahoy, sigurado maraming ibon nagtitira dyan. Makabigay sa amin ng warning o kung kadelikado ba o hindi delikado.
Malaki rin ang kahalagahan ng kalikasan, no? Kasi siyempre kung
Malaki ang kahalagahan ng kalikasan sa amin. Siyempre, kung wala nang mga kahoy ngayon, paano na lang ang mga bata balang araw? Maaapektuhan din sila.
maapektuhan din sila.
Responsibility over their land has spurred development in the T'boli and Ubo community. The DENR hopes that this dissuades residents from seeking a better life elsewhere, ensuring that the community and its culture remain intact.
That they have retained their traditional ways of doing things. That is what we were after. That we would like to catch those native wisdom and knowledge before it is lost. and that we would like that this be transmitted to their new generation of tribes.
The women have spent a lifetime among these trees. Now their future is intertwined. In fighting to save their forest, they in turn are fighting to save themselves.
Gusto ko dari kay...
Gusto kong manatili dito dahil pwede kong suportahan ang mga pagbabago dito. Hindi material na suporta lamang ang may bibigay ko. Kung nandito ako, kahit papano, masusuportahan ko ang mga pagbabago para sa mga kababaihan.